there's more than family. Actually, lots of things. In fact, if I might be so bold, I have a saying that I made up. I think I made it up. I'm pretty sure I didn't hear it somewhere else. But my saying I like is that um, family is earned. Relatives are genetic coincidence. That's my thing I like to say. That's my saying. Family, though. This is earned. This is family. For months in the making. I'm not actually looking at who's here. I'm staring off at the window where I can see other balconies. Family! Months in the making, this momentous occasion. Tears were shed. And gasps were gulped. And more tears were shed, but family. Family has come to this channel. Beast of Possibility, I am alive. This is like my third live stream in 4 weeks. For spring and legs have arrived. Ted Simon Strong Star Energy. I wasn't sure who all might have heard this. I never know about lag with this thing. There's always stream lag, right? But it's always very fluid, and I never know where we're at with the stream lag. So, I realized last stream I did, last week, I didn't even do a Marco Polo. I just kind of rolled with it. It seemed like it was okay, but it's a little pro tip to y'all. It's to drop the Marco Polo, and then you can figure out, like, all right, how's our time dilation? Yeah, that's strag. The strag. Known factor, the strag. Did you know I filmed already the packaging B-roll for these? But that's it. I'm also going to do something nauseating for y'all later on. Nothing sticky gross. But, that actually sounds even worse. Whatever I was going to talk about, I said the phrase sticky gross, and I think that we're all primed now for anything. There's 14 of you in here. I'm going to start moving things around. So my poor Assaultist folks have been in strong little man mode for months. And it's not even that the leg boys took a long time to arrive. It's the freaking cops, man. It took Big Bad Toy Store 100 years to get this. And I was like, I don't want to ship it until this gets in. Full stop. But now this guy's shown up. Oh, I should also say, I didn't bother with the foot add-on, chest plate add-on stuff for Assaultus. I don't think he needs it. I'm not opposed to picking it up somewhere down the road, but it's out of stock, and I don't care. I'm 100% more interested in the all built-in thing than giving him like extra little lifter shoes. Although, to the credit of the Assaultus team, this has been fun to mess with. A whole lot. Can we get a zoom in on Macho Man Litberg? Listen. He'll still fight you, okay? Like, what I'll say about... Because I poked at a friend of mine's copy of the shoes. I think the shoes are good in that they integrate. And they turn into usable objects for the other modes. That's all. That is what I demand of add-on parts for combiners. So, like, I still think the shoe bits are cool. I think I'd want to get a second copy of him. I remembered his name up until I pointed at him, and then it fell out of my head. Hang on. Let me go get my secret bag of cheats. Where's my cheat bag? Here's my cheat bag. I want to get me another Incursus so I can just have him permanently in toy mode, so I don't have to, like, screwdriver stuff, swap it around. Then I might be, like, way more interested in getting the add-on bits. I'm not going to get a second set of limbs. I just want to have a second Incursus who's all keyed up with the silver bits. So I can do that. But otherwise, like I am myself way more interested in the all built-in thing. I think that's the genius of the whole design that's happening with this set. I also should say I haven't gotten batteries for them yet. This still doesn't do anything because the batteries were... I forgot what batteries they wanted, and I don't... whatever they were, I don't have them, and I didn't want to order more batteries. Like, for whatever reason, this is where I hit my limit, and I think it was all the 3.0 stuff using normal batteries that, like, when I saw slightly non-normal batteries listed for this, I was like, no! And I was just hoping I would eventually encounter a friend who had to order a 10-pack of them for their own, and then go like, hey, I'll pay you $1 for one of those. I should say a friend who could then hand me the batteries, not ship them to me. I missed a whole lot of you here. Hey, Mateo Potato, Robot Lore Keeper, Waspinator's Left Knee, Alvin, Nagito 004, Ted Simon, Chris Muse, Oliver H. Richardson, Long River Valley, McMurr, Shadow You. I think that's everyone. I got Beast of Possibility at the very start. I hit that. The Morning Shorts, howdy to you, who's, I assume, at Texas. Unless you're just, like, speaking on behalf of Texas. That's cool, too. Who would win in a fight, Stiltman or Shorticus? I mean, this one's made of family. Stiltman has the biggest legs, but Stiltman doesn't have family. Actually, I think he specifically has family in his bio, or am I thinking of Frogman? I read Wikipedia pages. Mateo Potato, mainly gonna have you on ambience as you power scrub your grill. That's cool. I am so bad at cleaning kitchen stuff beyond just like washing it in the sink. I look up to you doing a power scrub. 4! I just wanted to say that. Shadow Ryu, I have not messed with the Unique Toys version. I had a review copy of the Blast-Off from another company, the one that got knocked off 1,000 times. Warbatron. I had a review sample of the Warbatron Blast-Off. The Unique Toys ones I thought looked cool, but they fell in between the cracks for me. In part because when I was finally going, like, maybe I'll mess with these Unique Toys ones, then this was all closer to coming out. And I was like, ugh, Wreck and Rule! Wreck and Rule! I'm good. We gotta play some... Hang on. Wait. I've been workshopping this. Wreck and Rule. You do not move, Wreck and Rule! Hang on. I'm gonna... I'm gonna, Wreck and Rule. We gotta play some, top table, competitive Transformers the deck building game. And I am going to place in the top 8, and I am going to win the Pro Tour. I was really excited about that before I said it. That all kind of just fell apart while it was falling out of my mouth. And I actually would say this about all the Menasors as well. They all have, like, such individual validity depending on your taste, in my opinion. That's why the only tragedy is that, like, there's no real way to sample them in person. And I think that actually holds some of them back, because it means that for the most part, it's like they are mostly for not entirely, but mostly for people who either are able to afford them all, or who are provided with hands-on time with them all, or who believe so much in one of them that, you know, they're buying the one. But usually that then comes with, like, combatively hating the other ones, which makes conversations a bit less interesting for me. But that's also like that's kind of the limitation of collector toys in general. Let's be real, I guess. What I'm saying is I want to be able to, like, print out renter copies of all of them that will, like, disintegrate after a week, just so I can mess with them a bit. I just want to know how they work with my own hands. Also, this happened with my other 2 limbs. I got one in this packaging style and one in this packaging style. So you know what we're going to be doing. Let me give you a hint what we're going to be doing. Where'd I put them? Oh no, they're not in the little bags. I don't remember where I put them now. Anyway, I'm gonna be slicing out the tech specs. I'm gonna actually cut on the dotted lines, and then I'm gonna get rid of the rest of the packaging. Giant bomb. Ben Walters, welcome home. I'm gonna just open up some toys I got. I'm not gonna live stream for like 4 hours this time because I literally have a thing to do tonight. Admittedly, it's still in my apartment, but you know, I have places to be. A meter to my left. Mateo Potato trying to choose between $15 ROTF gears or a loose classics hound for $9. I mean, I'd say hound. I'd say hound because also it's less expensive. ROTF gears is the redeco of Stockade, I think, right? Like the one of those movie toys that was like a Sector 7 vehicle that they just made into a character, which was because those toys are kind of cool. But the Gears repaint, I think, is less cool than the original. And that Hound is super solid. I think that Hound holds up. So, like, I don't know. I think with it being less expensive as well, it's going to do more for you. Ted Simon, yeah, doing things in a slightly different location in your apartment has been the last 15 months. Like, all due respect, let's make sure we recognize there are a lot of folks who do not have that ability. A couple friends of mine don't have that ability, and I've had to check myself on rambling a bit too much about I'm at home all the time because one friend of mine has to work 6 days a week at a really lousy retail location that should not be open. That is, in my opinion, abusing its workers. I might low-key have offered many times, please let me blow the whistle on them, I want their business to sink. But I've only done that with locals. If you're in the Toronto area and you want to know an art store to not shop at, you know, let me know. Not to get heavy right away, but when a place says, if you don't take our offer to work for us, we're gonna narc on you to the government so you can't get CERB because you're turning down work, I don't think your place deserves to be open anymore. I think Frodo here is bigger than I thought he was. I don't know why. I mean, I have the other ones. I thought he was a little shorter. I also should say I've not really studied how they work. I got to poke at my friend's Frodo prototype briefly a million years ago, and I don't remember it at all. So I'm going to be using the instructions, I should say. The one thing about the stream that might be a bit messy, usually with these, I got YouTube open when I'm messing with them, with like third-party toys. But as far as I know, there's nothing on the individual figures that I need to be like horrifically careful about. I know there's like little things about this one that you should like be careful with. I mean, Sideswipe Prime 606. I think often those kind of places will kind of loudly let their stink out about narking on you. So unless you got a real bad vibe from it, I don't think you should have to worry about it. Ben Walters, my day's been alright. My day's been alright. Freaking rumor has it they transform. Listen, don't start slinging this wild stuff around. Like, I cannot engage with these kind of flat earth theories about robots turning into vehicles. Table of Insanity, you're doing the Earthrise Scorponok repro labels. Nice. I didn't get to do the repro labels. I just got to mess with one that had the repro labels on it, and then I had to give it back, and I was like, can I not give it back? Because I want this. Flat Cybertron, low key. That's just Reboot. That's just the home server from Reboot. Am I right? So at a glance, these instructions look like they're going to be helpful. Although I know a friend of mine was yelling about these not being helpful. Matt, I never am good at number scales, especially with Bruticus, with the Combaticons. They're rarely a number scale, mostly because one of them's a space shuttle. That kind of screws with everything. Frodo is an open-top vehicle, so I think we could discern a scale at least on him. Oh, these are more masterpiecey. I mean, here's my hand, right? And you all know how big my hands are. You should have seen my dead serious face when I was like, oh no, I'm going to show my hand next to it. That'll explain everything. You know, as though you know the diameter of my hand. Diameter? I don't know. It's the afternoon. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Listen, everyone knows the size of internet personality Evangelist's hand, alright? That knowledge is internet dark web fact. All children whisper at night when they just, did you hear about his hand? Did you hear about his hand? No, Robot Keeper, I like the first one. Only real evangelist hands have his hand measured. Only we know how big we are. I don't even know how big my hands are. It's messed up. Adam Edgman, the slot! Thank you very much for that kind super chat, I think is called. I think it's called super chat on here. Do I hear a cat meowing? I must be going nuts. I thought I heard a cat meowing outside my door. I'm nearly 10 stories up. It can't possibly. And I have netting around my balcony. It's not possible. That had to be a little kid, like, down on the ground level. That freaked me out. That let you freak me out a little bit. I was like, is there a cat? Is there a cat on my balcony? Alright. I'm not going to mess with those accessory things yet. I want to try transforming my boy while we talk. It can't possibly take multiple hours for this, he said, inviting disaster. So I think we're just gonna chat while I transform this a little bit. You can see what it's like when I try figuring out how toys work. Huh? Oh. I already see. The instructions kind of don't say how this works, but I get it. I kind of see how this works, I think. Yeah, there. They do that. Okay. Could have done with... I don't think it would have been that bad to just tell me how that worked. That was like a one step where it shows this, and then it's like down arrow and then shows this. I never like those. I'm like, come on. I should say specifically, I don't like it when I am invited to apply forces in the wrong directions. He does come with the nyeh face. I missed a couple of these. Swordstone X, tell Fan Toys to hurry with their combiners. I don't think Fan Toys will listen to me. I dog on them too much. Ted Simon, how's the set been so far? Haven't followed it, but you like the idea of parts being integrated. Is it clean or a bit frustrating? This has a lot of really, like, you can tell that the mind that came through with Ocular Max RC, or the minds that put together Ocular Max RC, Azalea, are the minds that worked on this stuff. On the like, Incursus, the torso. Oh, beautiful. The arm bots are pretty good. Vortex has one step where I feel like parts are meant to go past each other in a way that is a bit messy. But otherwise, those first three I got were very chunk-oriented. There's a lot of good transformation flow. Vortex, I think, would be the low point, but that's just for, like, the taste of it, like, running smoothly. Oh, wait, so you want me to pull that, then... Okay. Yeah. Pull that, then do that. I see. Have you felt the complexity affects the stability or how solid they are? Because they're so chunk-oriented, that helps them have a lot of stability. That's part of the, again, credit to the design work, that they chunk their parts together, so you never have... It's not like a whole lot of stuff is floating like this, and then you're mushing it together and hoping it stays like that. Like, it's like a bunch of my fists moving around and locking together. Do the transformations of these have the fiddly, gross Toy World transformations or big, smooth, reformatted gestures? Absolutely more towards big, smooth gestures. Although I guess we're watching with this one. I keep pausing to look at the chat, so it's taking, longer than it actually would need to. That made a pleasant swoosh sound. Then what am I doing? Oh, you turned them around. I see. If I'm having like any weird pauses, it's mostly because the instructions are very much like kind of going, and then you just sort of do this. But like here, they're saying just rotate this piece around. But I'm like, okay, but it's like clearly I got to move this top bit out of the way too, right? It's on a double hinge, and it's literally in the way of rotating this around. And there's tabs down there, so you should have said for me to tab this out first, then rotate it around. I have a lot of opinions about instruction design. If you check out, we recently put up WTF and TFW episode 601, and I believe it's either 602 is going to go up tonight. One of those two. It'll say in the description, someone got Unicron. Spoiler, it's me. And there's like 5 to 10 minutes of me yelling about how much I don't like the Unicron instructions. I also should say I have a water in addition to my cola because I'm classy. I think Unicron's instruction book is massively disappointing and indicative of the very root of a lot of my complaints about transforming robot toy instructions. And I just find on the Unicron, on the Hasbro Unicron, I guess specifically, it's way more egregious, if that's the right word, because like that thing is also incredibly expensive and was crowdfunded on basically no schedule. There was no real schedule, there was no rush. And there are still critical errors in the instructions on a figure that you can't just replace. I should also add. That was pleasant. That made nice clicks. And then what? I fold what, Dan? How is that pointing that way? What did you not tell me in your instructions this time? Oh, I missed something. Are you seriously just telling me to flip it like this? Okay. Okay, you got to speak more clearly, instruction book, please. Oh yeah, this is tabbed in now. I got to move this out of the way. I skipped ahead on that. There we go. So all you got to do is tell me to do things in a certain order, and then we're all good. Now I see what you mean, because now this all turns into the hood. That's really cool. Next stage. Ooh, listen to that. Oh, okay, so you say rotate, but what do you mean rotate, or do you mean something else? You meant something else. You meant this. Okay. Oh, hello. Did I miss what this is doing? I don't think I did. Did I miss the part where the hands fold away? I did. That's solvable. Yeah, I had a feeling. It's one of those thumb down, then fingers setups, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, open the fingers up so as you can get the thumb in there as tightly as it can go. And then that inherently thins up the implied fist to a degree. So it's one of the more clever little tricks that everyone uses that I don't think gets enough credit. Why is this thing stuck? Why did I not bring a spudger out here with me? There we go. I'm gonna stop neglecting the chat as soon as I get this hand folded away. Are you hoping, Alex Lemons, are you hoping they make Rid Commando repaints? That'd be cool, but I think repaints would generally be neat. I just don't really want to, I don't want to buy all of them again right now. Morning shorts. This is, I guess, in regards to Unicron instructions. Like, telling how to do the stand at the very end of the instructions. Yes! Oh my god! That, when I realized that, I was, like, as livid as I can get about a toy for, like, 5 straight minutes. I was like, how do you just show at the front of the instructions, stick the stand in? And then at the end, oh, here's how you stick the stand in properly. Like, I assume... It's easy to figure out what happened, is that it was thought it would be packaged in one way, and then it was packaged with that flap out instead of in. So instructions were written with the idea that they would be packaged with the flap in. I'm going to go on this point a lot with Unicron. It was a crowdfund project. You have a backer update system. You send a backer update that says, hey, heads up, because this and this, just remember, check this in the instructions first, then go to the front to stick the stand in. You have a backer update system for a reason, but That's my other gripe about it. But the thing about Unicron, I think the toy's great. All my gripes are the paperwork and the way the backer updates were used, i.e., almost never. Okay, I think that this is supposed to rotate up. Oh! That's a really weird symbol for rotate this thing up. But yeah, there's like guiding tabs all over the place here. Yeah, I could have just figured this out myself, I guess. Yeah, dummy, is what you get for trying to read the instructions all the way through. Those tabs make that good kind of feel when you put them together. I like it. I miss so much chat again. I apologize. I keep saying that, by the way, and I know no one wants me to just keep apologizing for it. It's a knee-jerk reflex. Alex Lemons, I'd be down with seeing MMC reformatted doing the scavengers. I think they'd fit in pretty well. Chris Muse, what do you hope and think we're going to get in the mainline after Kingdom wraps up? If I understood Lanny right, it sounds like it might be a thing that they're going to turn generations back into, like, plural generations, with Kingdom being the thing that kind of took the cork back out, as far as, like, being able to put the Beast characters in. So I'd just be down with them doing, like, no, we're just going to start getting wild again and doing plural generations. So I would like that very much. Sideswipe Prime 606, I am also wondering how HasLab has been doing with backer updates on their other projects. It sounds like the Hero Quest updates have been fine. Maybe because it is a board game and is held to a higher standard for Kickstarter backer updates. Capricious Collector, I hope everyone's having a good evening too, but I hope you're having a good evening. I should say, when it comes to generations, you know, getting more pluralized, I'd also like for that to include, like, not just, like, you know, lines that didn't really have collector lines to go with them, like RID 2015. I would really like just some brand new, fresh ideas, but done in a collector style. Excuse me. Style. All that mixture of water and cola in my throat. That wasn't even just a burp. That was like a small explosion. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Hey, got chairs. We got chairs. Chairs confirmed. And then I gotta flip some stuff up down here. What precisely do you mean? Or did you mean this? You meant this, okay. The arrow was pointing in the wrong direction to mean this, I think, but it's the thought that counts. But yeah, this now makes sense, because now we're collapsing legs in. As one might say, thusly. Are we just pushing up? Is this a slider? No, wait. I think this is something a friend of mine was telling me about. It looks like they're saying just push them up, it's like a slider, but they're not. See, Wings Hyun, I am hyped for all built-in defense. Like, just the fact there's another all built-in even happening makes me happy. I felt like there was a super decent chance all built-in would be a one and done with this because of the way that third-party collectors tend to be about their incredibly specific desires for everything. And that, like, some of the crits on all built in is like, well, how's it supposed to be 18 inches tall if it's all built in? And I was like, I don't understand how any of you exist, live your lives, etc. I don't fit in well with forum discussions anymore. I feel like this is supposed to slide up now that I unlocked the thing, but I don't really know. Or were these supposed to... Oh, I see. That's supposed to come out like that. It's the other way. It was actually going that way. And then that gives this room. Do that. Hey, hey. You know how I was like, I'm gonna turn this guy into a vehicle? I didn't even look! Damn it! It said it at the start, and I was so set on yelling about things. I've been putting him in leg mode the whole time. Alright, well, I mean, while we're here, I might as well just at least continue that little train of thought. Good morning, everybody! Welcome to class. It's the year 1998. You might not think you've been born yet, but yeah, guess what? You have. You know, when this guy becomes a leg, it's going to be real cool. It's going to be real cool. God damn it. Oh, now I'm going to be so lost. Hey, as someone might say, oh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Yeah, I was wondering why there was no wheel up there, so this folds it. Oh, this is kind of cool. Look at that. This has, like, stuff to slam into down there. I think I'm highly missing a trick as to how these knees lock in. Because evidently this is supposed to slide down some more, and I just didn't see how it works. Are these locks back here? Huh. Reading the instructions, were you? That was your first mistake. Honestly, now that I know these were leg mode instructions, these are better. But I was trying to use them to make a car. Mighty Walrus, there are locks. Yeah, there's a real page. So these fold out then. I'm gonna get my spudger. I should have had it out here in the first place. I'll be right back. Here, keep an eye on this for me. Oh my God, my thumb! That was the wrong fulcrum motion to put onto a slightly flexible piece of meat that is right beneath the nail. Ow! Gotta go pour some chem fluid mixed with flowers on my hand. All like Resident Evil. Alright. That's all good. It just was painful. What's up with that straw? I got a metal straw because I like straws, and I don't. I got tired of plastic ones, and I don't like the paper ones. Oh, this is so much easier with this. So I got a metal one, and I like it. It doesn't mess with me much. I know metal ones can mess with people still. Like, they can be really uncomfortable on teeth. Is that as far down as it goes, or is it supposed to go farther? I feel like this is supposed to go farther, but there's a chance I might have moved things around. Oh, I see. There was more in the way. Yeah, I read that metal straws can really bother some people's teeth, which I totally get. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. That, I think, is what my friend was talking about, that bit in the instructions. Stuff is clicking around weird. Anyway, there's a leg, I guess. I've used paper straws 3 or 4 times. The thing about them is they're fine for 5 minutes. And then they begin to not be fine. That's a head. I thought for a second that was an extra ratchet piece or something. That's with someone else. Oh, so the instructions are like turn him into a leg, then into a Jeep. That's a little bit cynical. That's realistic but cynical. It's like, yeah, most of these suckers are just going to want to make a leg and never transform the toy again. I say suckers. I bought one too. Yeah, the part where the paper straws melt with saliva to me is like, this is a problem. This is a problem on a very basic primal level. I guess I can finally see how tall this guy will be. Oh! That was neat. It was totally off screen, but I was really excited there. Alright, so I guess we start by doing this. I'm gonna make a Jeep. I'm making a Jeep before we go back to leg mount. The dissolved straw adds flavor and texture. Graham, I finally saw the thing you told me about 50 times about the instructions barely communicating how the leg sliders work. I was very confused there for a bit, but we had some helpful help. We had some helpful help from the helpful chat. Yeah. Oh, these heel, yeah, I just saw you say heel spikes, and these things are hell of, I see. It's like you gotta fold that down first. So to pause, the point is ostensibly, it's like, it's not unhelpful, technically, but there is also like a motivation of like, this lets us turn the people against each other inward, rather than focus on the far more major contributors to environmental disaster. Which is a part I don't appreciate as much about that whole approach. And that is to say, that's all in my opinion. Oh, was I supposed to fold these up? I don't know. It's too late now. Oh, that still needs a little friendly of the spudge. Still needs you here. Oh, those are tight. Oh, dearie me, those are tight. Oh, oof. It says to slide this out again. I'm guessing for a reason. Something started rattling. And then stopped rattling. That's odd. Did you all hear that? I heard something rattle and then stop rattling. Am I going crazy? Oh, here it is. Something fell off. Something fell off. Where was this? Is a piece of grill detail that I assume was filling in a gap. Where did this live? Where did that piece of sculpting used to live? Exactly. I can't even see where it used to live. I just know a piece of sculpting fell at. I mean, that's alright. We can fix that later. I thought it was on here, but those are here. Maybe the cat was rattling. Yeah, that ghost cat you started hearing in your brain. That's who it is. I've lost track of what I was doing already. Hey, I'm gonna keep streaming. Don't get me wrong. This is another one of those reasons why live streaming open react to toy I just got is not always been on my radar. It's the front skirt. Where? Oh, you're there. It is under the front skirt. Good call, Graham. I am getting like wildly distracted like every 3 seconds. It's gonna take me 2 hours to transform one toy. But you know, we have fun. That's the important thing. Huh. Oh, do you mean I rotate you around? Oh, you do mean I rotate you around. Oh boy. Yeah, this is not as simple as just like like this. The top half of this side of the instructions makes it look like, oh, just do a few more things to the leg mode and you're good. And it's like, no, fool. Open the whole thing up again. You should just, in my opinion, should just lead with that piece of messaging. Just open the whole thing up again. Huh! That's the sound of us flipping this around. Huh! I'm getting more used to that arm motion, though. This feels really good when this all seals up, when these, like, slide out then back in. That feels good. That's got some of that good hand feel, some of that good tactile stuff going on. I'm gonna keep these tabs together now that I solved the rattly part mystery. That's what you imagine all jump cuts sound like. Huh! What's our end result hope here? Oh, I see. Oh, so these do go down all the way. That is really cool how that turns into the chair. I like that. I remember some of this trick from when I messed with my friends a long, long time ago. In a galaxy far away. Naboo was under an attack. There is clearly a part where a grill folds out, and I have not gotten there yet. I skipped ahead a little bit. I wasn't paying much attention. Oh, there it is. I think it's Spudger time. That long silence was me doing the thing where you glance through 15 steps at once, following the path and going like, where did I miss it? And I didn't see it, and then I just noticed the yellow piece sticking out. So, you know, still, go team me. Am I right? Comfortable. Yes, good. Rolls. Yes. Whoop. All right. Let's put this back on. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, that's pleasant. I'm gonna go straight out and say those instructions made this more difficult than it needed to be, in my opinion. But also, let's be fair, that's the story of instructions a lot of the time. A story that I feel instructions still need to sort out. I don't think it's something... I don't know if I've gone on this rant on here yet. I have a real stick up my craw about the whole notion of like, oh, I mean, everyone uses YouTube videos anyway. And it's like, yeah, but... there are still ways one could communicate some things, though, in paper, regardless. Like, let's still communicate things really well in paper, too, if we can. Bitte. Oh. I just want to put his little guns on his little gun stack. Then I'm going to feel satisfied. I think also, to be fair with instructions, when you're writing the instructions, you're not an end user who's seeing the instructions first. I think instructions need a beta test period with end users. But then you're figuring out, like, how do we get a copy of the toy to someone with a copy of the finished instructions and get their instruction feedback that can then be passed on to manufacturing of the paper stuff before we package the whole toy. Like, I see how that doesn't really fit in with something that suits most of the actual audience who purchase third-party things. Because Ocular Max, MMC, and Iron Factory all get video manuals up. I just haven't looked at this once. I didn't have the figures yet. But like the graphic design on these, I think is good. I think this is clear. I just think these instructions need to be one more block down here, so there's more room to have twice as many steps. Just so that everything is made like real, like not like this and then end result, but like this midpoint end result, or this midpoint end result. Like double the number of photos to show how a thing happens. Alright, so I knew there'd be like baggies with this tank dude. Because I believe he comes with like extra replacement ratchet bits or something. And someone told me that I should be... Oh yeah, it's like these. I should be like test fitting testing the efficacy of the existing ratchets first, and then a bunch of other things that I'm not going to do on the live stream. So I'm going to leave these things alone for now, I think. But this looks like... There's another Frodo head? What's wrong with... Oh, right! The first run had the nose the wrong color, but my Frodo's from the second run, so I just have another Frodo head. That's good, I might lose one. What are these? Little radials. I think those must be for the tank. Tape. Ech. Oh, thanks, Redline. Okay, it's antenna for the tank. I was worried, like, were there antenna that were so broken on one of the other ones I never even saw them? So this is all mush for my tank friend. I'm gonna mess with my tank friend as naked as possible first. That being without his accessories on. I am wearing clothes. I'm not gonna show you. It's not your business. But you have to take my word for it that I am not naked right now. Look how big this is. That's... Whoa! Whoa! That's really satisfying. This literally feels like a brick. Like, right down to the in-hand, like, this feels like... This is the kind of brick... Y'all know what I mean, right? When you get that brick, that's just the right size for just, like... Just popping the soft spot someone's skull into their brain. We all do that, right? We all know what I'm talking about, right? We all do that. I don't know what you're talking about. You're all criminals. I'm gonna get the instructions out. Mashed together into a human pyramid that hates you is a great... Taurus Oxford, don't throw bricks at people. Listen, I would just like to make the statement, do not throw bricks at people. Okay, the first step says press button to lift turret up. I'm so into this. It has a spring lock. I love this. I want to see this on more toys in general that are high-end. Official Masterpiece Beast Megatron would be 10 times better if there were a button release on some of the really scary tight bits on him. I love this. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Split legs apart. You can't tell me what to do. I did that because I wanted to. Push button to allow calves to slide. There's another... They got button release sliders on this. That's great. I love button release sliders. Oh. This is a strong start. Where'd my spudger go? Help me. I don't want to struggle right now. Make it easy. Rotate waist. I can do that. Alright, alright. I think I know what this next step is, and I think I like it a lot. Yeah, I like that. I love it when it's like, fold that over, then the wedge. It's good, just like big hunks of robot. Oh, okay, okay. Like that? No, I did that wrong. Am I don't suspect I'm overthinking this. Okay, I was overthinking this. Yeah. So that's how that reshaped. Oh, and then I flip the little heel down. I see. Oh, those little heels are like on a little thing that tabs them in on the back as well. That's so cool. That's so cool. Big boy feet. Didn't finish the tank properly. He was enough of a tank. He was tank enough. He had all the bits. He had all the bits a tank needs. He just wasn't like dressed up for whatever, for tank church. That's all right. When we're live streaming, this is my live streams are fairly godless. I mean, like it's all right. Unpeg arm assembly. It's a normal thing to say, right? My live streams are fairly godless. Like, that's a normal... Oh, it's just coming out in nice big chunks. Mmm. Hold yourself up. Big question, are the individuals good enough to motivate you to want to take it apart and mess with it? So far, yeah. Mostly because, like, it hasn't been hell making them into any of their modes. And the transformation flow is so very pleasant to me. Oh wait, am I rotating this the wrong way? How do you want me to make head clearance? Oh, that ain't right. Mom! Okay, I got it. And then we just clumping all this down. I gotta move this up a bit. Keep yourself together, my man. Holy moly. I know you're excited to finally be like in a real home and out of customs, but don't be so sloppy. That had a place to click in. That makes me so happy. Dunkus the Terrible says beefers. I love it. To pause, yeah, those orange shades are just like they're fresh. They're citrus fresh. So if I'm following the instructions, then I'm a fool. They didn't really... Instructions are making this more complicated than I think it actually is. You know what? I'm going to stop looking at them. I'm just going to freehand. That was way easier than trying to follow the instructions. This time, this is what I would call the valiant attempt gone wrong. The instructions were trying to show how to do the whole thing, but like with one too few steps. So I was just getting confused. So that just slides up there. And it's this repeat process for other arms. Alright, bud. I will. I think I shall repeat process for other arm. Legs need to come up more. What if I like him looking all like... yeah, I can see in the instructions too. There's more slide. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I just like I liked how much he looks like the G1 toy when they're in like this. Oh yeah, now he's gone through. It's like he's gone through puberty. And he's like, "What were you calling me?" like yesterday. Imagine the legs are up here, and he's like, "Hey, don't pick on me, man. I'm 12 years old." And then, like over the weekend, you come back to school and you see him sitting down, right? And you throw a ball at his head, and he stands up, looming over you, right, like this, and he's like, "What did you just do?" And you're like, "Oh my God, you have little scraggles on your chin too. Oh no, I'm gonna die." Push button again to push turret down. Oh, the turret's even on a hinge. Holy moly. So this just... clicking like that, or is it clicking up here? Oh, whoa. Did I get that confused? No. That only rotates there, right? Oh! Listen to that lovely sound. It sounds like a combination lock. It's so smooth, too. Like, this is something I can't communicate in a video, but the hand feel on this... like, it's... you see how I'm kind of slow when I'm moving it? That's because it's resisting just enough. Buttery is a word for it. That is some buttery ratchet. He still has an ab crunch. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, this Brawl's so good! Redline, I see what you're talking about. Like Brawl's thing here, he just works. Oh, and he's got a whole thing where you can rotate the backpack around and put the weapons on his head. Ah! Oh, I can squeeze his shins! Oh man, like these are handfuls of leg. Not to objectify the poor boy, but like I could just sit here squeezing his legs so much. Can open the turret lids. Oh, this extends? Oh, I'm just sitting here squeezing his legs all day. Put me down! No. I bought you. I own you. That's horrible. Treat your toys with respect. They ask you to stop squeezing their legs. Stop squeezing their legs already. Sicko. Gotta get rid of these plastic insert nonsenses. Taurus Oxford, I own you. You belong to me. I'm like Unicron, but way more uncomfortable. You are mine. I've summoned you here for a purpose. Nobody summons me. You are my property now.
I'm going to squeeze you.
That would have been a different movie. I just want to see if I can turn him back into a tank. I want to see if I can just smooth flow this. Oh man, I love how those arms work. Those arms are so good. How friggin' dare you make good arms like this?
You are now my personal property that I own and can use to my own purposes and wishes. Immunicron.
I feel like this is supposed to... I feel like this thing is supposed to close up over that hand somehow, but I think I'm just imagining it. Imagine if Unicron, when he was like, "Welcome, Megatron," was in robot mode and was just like putting Megatron into his lap. And holding him like a little bunny rabbit. Oh, it's supposed to? Do I gotta... Oh, that's why they had these things folded like that. I see. Yeah.
Nobody summons Megatron. Aren't you a cute little thing? I could just put you in my mouth and chew on you to make you warm.
What?
Destroy the Matrix leadership.
What? Behinji, would Megatron purr? Probably not immediately. But you know, eventually. Chris Muse, quote,
You belong to me. I can bring you into the bathroom and make you watch me poop. So I won't be bored in there. I am Unicron.
So, man, I like this rewrite. That's a Chris Muse original, that line. You know, now that they had their whole writer's strike and everything, I can't just take credit for that one. That was a Chris Muse original. Chris Muse will have a seat at the Comic-Con panel, you know, to discuss that writing decision and everything. Oh, this is just a tight transformation. This is good. This is just good. There we go. Lots of boom power. I mean, I guess we could. Oh, wait, that thing's not in right. What's going on? What's up with you? There we go. Oh, there's like a slot there for that to go like thus. And then that whole thing locks in. Unless that whole thing locking in, that's like turning off the, that makes it so I can't rotate the turret anymore. That feels more like that's for the leg mode. I don't know. You got options. You got options. Here's what I'm going to do. Just over an hour in, I'm going to make this guy into a leg. We'll put some legs onto Assaultus. Loosen arm assembly. Now it's showing me something very specific with this. Oh, I see. Oh! Where's your tabs, though? Where's your tabs? I see your tabs. Oh, this should go down first. The instructions didn't say this should go down first, but clearly this should go down first. Long River Valley, Assaultus, she barely knows us. He's just in the background. Father, please. Become chunk. Is this it? The leg to surpass Metal Gear? Full credit to Nagito 004. This feels like maybe I did the wrong heel transformation for the robot mode. But also, who cares? Wait, really? Hot damn. Hot damn. Do these not extend out some more? Feel like these extend out some more. Yeah, these feel the art makes it look like these are supposed to be out some more, but I don't really see how now that I'm looking at it. I'm gonna look at the chat in a second where I'm certain someone's yelling something. But I want to get this back into its basic state. That foot looks like it extends out some more. Oh, something about the intermission question. Chicken soup. Finished latest WTF. Question in the intermission made you really think, subsequently appreciate the past 3 years or so being a new Transformers fan, making so many new friends, and having others join this hobby fan base has been so fulfilling. I'm so happy to hear that. They have sliding locking tabs like Swindle. Why didn't this thing... Did I miss a step? Oh! I thought this was the end. There were 2 more steps. Mea culpa. Mea culpa. That's on me. Hey, that's on me. I'll take that one on the chin. Yeah, that makes a million times more sense. Yeah. So now what are we doing? Ah. I am just looking very carefully at the photograph. I'm guessing this actually needs to get out of the... No? I thought this needed to get out of the way, but I guess it doesn't. Oh! I just realized there is a spatial solution to this. Okie dokie. Hey, kid, you have a lie down over here for a second. Just take it easy. Take a load off for a moment. Let's get Frodo back to that legular mode. Let's do it by memory. Adds another hour to the stream. As I recall, I have to do a whole bunch more than I thought I would. Oh, right, I gotta extend this out first. That's right, RG1 Studios, time to turn swindle into a shindle! I want to stress I didn't invent that one, so really it's not my fault. Thought I would have jump cut to finishing the conversion. No, I couldn't if I wanted to. I've already deceived you all into thinking this is a live stream when really I just knew everything you were about to say. But, I like to maintain the illusion a little bit longer. Am I getting Marvel Legends Surtur even though his sword is inaccurate? Now, I don't have enough interest in movie Marvel Legends. I already realized with fig arts, I don't think I care about MCU enough to actually own a lot of figures from MCU. Granted, I also think that the MCU SH fig arts specifically are kinda lower end SH fig arts. Like they are somewhat disappointing in my opinion for the pedigree of the line, but also I don't need to own a figure of Surtur. I like Thor Ragnarok as a film, but not enough to actually want to own toys. About to say, just look at me gliding through this transformation like it's nobody's business. And then I got like the legs completely malformed. All right, we getting there. That is the correct heel position. Okay, I just didn't... Oh, I left it in the wrong heel position for that whole vehicle mode. Oops! Potato, buttered noodles. Delicious. I hope you have yourself a good robot finagling. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Oh, this actually tabs in there. Oh, this had a tab in spot over there too. Oh, I gotta fix that up. It's actually 2 tabs for the Onslaught toe to go into. Oh, you're so much taller! Did you all know that when you add legs to a robot, you get taller? Oh, I like him. Digito 004, thank you kindly. You know what the best part of this is? This whole big man, this whole large boy. Look at that ab crunch. Ah. So I should say, I got to physically handle a test shot of this all put together for a minute, as someone else was doing their professional works with. And I remembered thinking, damn, it feels nice when I'm holding him. And now that I got my own, I think I could say, damn, it feels nice when I'm holding him. Oh, my big friend. Yeah, I just saw you can thrust. Let's get the... there we go. Look at it. Look at... I missed a whole lot of chat there while I was having my moment. My apologies. One thing I've noticed is that the Brawl foot tends to... this foot here tends to split itself a little bit. Like, the tabs are not as strong as I would like them to be, but I might be missing something, too. It's only splitting now and then. It might be because he's on, like, a grippy rubber surface. Yeah, you just chill out for a little bit. Take your well-earned break. Truth be told, the pelvis thing comes from my friend Ian_Reed on Twitter.com/Ian_Reed. He got me going on the pelvis. I'm gonna have a sip of cola. Does he stand okay, or is it a little tenuous? Whoop. That was a little tenuous. I've got him kind of off balance, so if I rebalance his center mass to not be quite so ridiculous. Yeah, he's here. Whoa! Okay. If you push him, he'll fall over. How much can I push him, though? I got his legs a bit wide apart. What if I just get him standing, legs closer, casual, on a shelf style? Can I give him a big friendly pat? Can I give him a big... Oh wait, did I have his backpack tab together? Backpack, his shoulder, armpits. Let's see. I feel like I am missing something on the Brawl foot. I feel like I'm messing something up there, but let's see. I can give him a little tap, a little pat. Yeah, you can give him a little pat, but I think if you walk by and you straight up went like, "Big boy!" then he would start to fall over. I think he's pretty stable. Like, bear in mind, I'm messing with him with, like, stuff in between me. And he's also on a springy surface. This is a neoprene channel fireball playmat from a Magic GP that's upside down. It's naturally a bit springy, and I find a lot of toys don't stand on it quite as solidly as on, like, a wood surface or something. But I've also been kind of ham-fisting my way through this transformation. Like here from the foot angle. This is what's happening when I'm poking him. I don't know if you can... Whoa! Alright, I poked him too much. I was saying, I don't know if you could hear me poking him, but I was trying to poke him hard enough for it to be audible. The Brawl leg is a bit thicker, which is to be expected. I don't think it messes with the silhouette all that much. I think it just looks like he's got a tank for a leg and a Jeep for the other leg. And also, like, I'm adamant on using the built-in feet. Like, I'm sure that if you add the shoes on and you get, like, the larger surface for him to hang out on, like, that might be a thing. Mighty Walrus says, I did have to tighten up a lot of the joints with the screwdriver. Yeah, I haven't tightened anything on him. Like, I just been messing with them. Well, I've been messing with Incursus for a while, and then the other two for a little bit less. Yeah, Jeremy Campos, it's like, I'd say there's a reasonable mid-ground. It's like for me, I don't want to have to worry about a figure falling over in the middle of the night while I'm asleep, which I would say is like your NECA toys, your Mythic Legions, some of your Marvel Legends, but not all of them. With combiners, like, I could see it being like, you don't want to be woken up by the sound of this guy, like, domino pitching his way through everyone that's in front of him. But I feel like if you just leave him on a shelf, he'll be fine. And if you put him into poses, like, I haven't tried yet. I know there was a request. I really want to get to Pexus, though, before I run out of time. Just checking my time. Oh, I'm doing okay. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I might have him do it with fists, which I hope is acceptable. you can't really see what's going on, but this looks really funny. I think he's got to squat this one a little bit. Yeah, I gotta. Nikito, thank you. That is very kind. The dab. Here, I'm gonna go handheld for a sec so you can see. Oh no, I can't really. Oh no, I can. Unplug for a second here. Like, this looks very much like Bruticus trying to dab, in that he's, like, power squatting, and he's got his hands balled up into fists. So it's like an aggressive dab from someone who doesn't really understand what a dab is if it's not some way to attack people. Yeah, only single joint on the knees. It's not double jointed knees. I'm gonna say, if it was double jointed knees, I'd have him just like power kneeling his dab. I wonder if I can, though. No, I can't quite get the balance right. At least I can't get the balance right, like, in the moment with the stream running. I'd need to really sit down with this guy, I think. I'd need to do this on my own time for a little while. In private. So I will say, when it comes to the... When it comes to the replacement, what's it? Hang on, how did this go in again? There's like a trick to this. Yeah, there we go. Because he has a replacement shoulder ratchet. I don't know. People in the chat who own this, give me your opinion maybe when I do my little test here. I think I need to use the replacement ratchet because I found that this arm as it is, it'll stay there, but if I just shake him here, it'll do that. So this ratchet is feeling a little bit like it's clickier than this one, but this one isn't holding a weapon. This one, however, is a little bit outweighed, and I'm assuming that's the one that they included the replacement for. Yeah, as Graham, as you're saying, like I know that there are folks who didn't need it as well, so I wasn't sure if like I'm on that cusp or if I'm on the no, this is why they included it cusp. I assumed I'm in the this is why they included it cusp. Oh, look at that. Look at that. My son over here. Yeah, it's, yeah. Let's get off. Oh no, this tape has ruined the Ziploc bag. I like using these for board game pieces. This one's got big ass holes in it. That ain't gonna happen for that one Ziploc bag. But yeah, this is like an entire extra ratchet that is included. Yeah, the fix involves a little bit of prying, which is scary. I'm confident I can pull it off because of some other fixes I've done, but I was just curious. I figured I was like, you know, my blast off was in the realm of like, no, you are literally one of the people for whom that was included. Anyway, last one. I want to crack this open. I've been hype about this because this is like, this is aimed at me. Mastermind Creations really kindly were like, let's make a toy specifically for one person. And I was like, well, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. And then I was like, you know, to be fair, just make sure I have, like, you know, make sure that it's a product I have to purchase at least. Let's be fair to everyone. I haven't done much research on this guy, but I'm noticing there are... So, is there a thing why he has extra fingers in the... in his little Ziploc bag here? Was there an incident? When the tape is easier to knife than peel off, for some reason that makes me get annoyed, and I don't really think that's justifiable, but it just does. I'm like, why? Why'd they have to go and make the tape so adhesive? I mean, really? I'll never do that again. Okay, yeah, there's mostly people saying his hands are great. I'm gonna guess I would assume there must have been something of like every now and then in manufacturing, like a couple fingers might get janked up, so here's some extra fingers. I like this. It's a fist. It literally is an arm with a fist on the end. I want to take a look at this instruction book. See how this one is. Continue my critiques of the paperwork. That's the instruction manual. This is issue 48. Oh, I gotta read this later. Art and letters by Hino Mars 19. I like the angles on this. There's some stuff going on in here. Holy moly. Anyway. This is the Prime Twitter was buzzing about. This is the Prime I was literally contacted about by multiple different parties. Going like, hey, I think you want to know about this because it's literally made for you. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, wow, look at that. They made a toy literally for me. So let's give this a try. Let's give this a try. Bend figure as shown. Will do. It's not happening, so now what are we gonna do? Okay, there I had to move some stuff. I get the feeling I'm on my own on this one a little bit. Oh, the hips do the thing. I love it when they do the thing. Okay. So are these slides or are these hinged? Oh, they're slides. They are legit slides. Okay. Oh, holy moly. I just realized what this is. For the moving piston thing, like you're actually connecting it up. Sorry, I am missing a lot of chat. I'm getting a little bit mesmerized here. I'm seeing, like, hoping MMC does something like this, but for a Megatron or something. I think the best way to get them to do that is to tell them this is a good direction to go in and do more of these, please, by buying them. I would like people to do that, because I wish to buy more of them. Okay. Close shin guards to secure knee tab. Okay, so this is coming in from hang on. No, there we go. This is coming in from behind to go in here. Push shin guard down to secure. Are you kidding me? I just push it? No, you're actually doing an accordion hinge thing here. It just feels like you're pushing it. Oh, but then the end result is like, check this. Oh my god! You build that during the transformation! Hey, this is gonna be the rest of the stream now. Yeah, let's do that again. Let's friggin' do that again! And we squeeze those in so they go down and... yeah. I need it. Hang on. I need a hit. I need a hit. I need a hit. I need a hit. Alright, calm me down for a second. Duncan, apparently the calf panels and the backs of your shins can break, just FYI. Alright, let's see what that part is. Okay, so it's these things. Yeah, it looks like it's possible for them to get locked up. I would assume that they get caught on there. If they end up like on the outside rather than underneath like they are right now. Anyway, let's get back to the thing, by the way, I was talking about. Which I'm going to zoom in again. For his hip articulation, look, it does it does the fig arts pull down, so you can get more kick range, but it does it the way that T-Rex tends to design that joint rather than fig arts. T-Rex is a mecha articulation designer who works with Sentinel a lot, and I tend to think of T-Rex hips as doing this thing more often than I do than fig arts. Fig arts is just literally a pull down. Slide both thigh caps down. I think I probably did that inadvertently while I was doing the articulation. Yeah. Yeah, I just did that inadvertently while I was doing all that. Flip down crotch. Guard. Flip down crotch guard. The crotch is already present. We're gonna stop being so zoomed in. Okay, calm down. Rotate waist. Untab wheels. Oh yeah, simple little things. The little things, you know? Untab from... Oh, and then they untab from in there, too. Okay. Alright, let's... what happens next? Oh, yeah, split arms apart. Hang on, this is one of those spine... I gotta back bend that. Alright. Flip cap up. Oh, yeah. Let's be kind here until I know how all this works. Oh, flip head out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's real pleasant, simple stuff. Push chest forward. Don't mind if I do. Oh, it even clicks into place when you do it. Ah! Yeah! And then this, up and then up into there. Oh, yeah. Blargasaurus 3-0 does that kind of hip as well sometimes. I just messed with a 3-0 figure that does that. Not for, like, an upcoming video, just one of the ones I've already done a video for. Don't know why I was immediately thinking of T-Rex. To be honest, I think 3-0 does it more often right now. Really good articulation design going on of late. Secure wheel to back assembly. Feel like you made me skip a few steps here again. Secure what to the back assembly? Oh, those holes. Right? I'm like reading back. I don't think I skipped anything. I think it just the instructions skipped some steps, and now I'm like, wait, please inform me what your base scenario is. Okay, yeah, it was those holes. Now I'm like, are you telling me to lock in a thing, or are you telling me to not lock in a thing? Yeah, it was lock in a thing. Popeye mode. Slide arms down. That is not a slider, that is a double hinge. You are pulling the arms down, not sliding them. That is important language differentiators. Rotate arms and vent. Oh, the top vent just goes. I feel like those pistons are supposed to do more, but they're not really doing more. So it says I've hit completion. I also think this didn't really tell me what these red slideys do other than just sit back here, which I am guessing is it. Now, there was a whole other step back here. A couple of steps back here. Okay, there's the weapons stuff, matrix removal, etc. I thought I saw something here about how the... Yeah! So they took a good page from 3.0's book and have a whole segment on, like, how articulation is meant to work. Hang on, let me crack this open. So, moving elbow joint. There are two joints, one here and one here. And yeah, there's kind of a hydraulic system on here, but I don't think it's nearly as like moving parts as the stuff on the knees. It's more like it just happens to be present. 3 points on the shoulder and arm. Two, three. Yep. And an extend waist joint is a... Are you kind of cracking it open? Oh, that's what the click up was. Yeah, and then that unlocks this entire thing here. So you can have a lot of this. Crack it up and forward to have like a full... Oh yeah, there's even a diagram how to have him... can unlock this and crack this up to have him like fully bend over and touch his toes if you want. And then they mention the hip thing that I saw. Ooh. Do these get out of the way? Oh, instead you move them down to do the splits. I see. So instead of having the hip skirts get out of the way, it relies on this system for him to be able to balance between two cars. Oh, there's a whole thing here about moving the thigh guard. Hold the knee guard when bending, which is what I already was doing. And when bending knee, take care of panel behind calf. So they mentioned it. Yeah, I think the problem is the thing I hypothesized. That it, like, you want to make sure it's going under. And then you want to move this hip skirt up. They say shift it up when you're bringing the thigh all the way forward. And then they're mentioning, yeah, this thing can extend out for all this kind of stuff. He's got a toe joint. Toe joint does not have hydraulics, but they do a cool trick where they've got some sculpted painted ones that just disappear up when you fold it up. So it kind of looks like it's hydraulics. That's really cool. But yeah, we're getting to the main event, though. This is the hands. These are... I've been excited to mess with these. Because these hands, this is the thing that... This is what I demand from hands in this century now. They got spread! So these are like Sola Chigokin Gaogaigar tier. Astrobots hands, that's right. They're using that Astrobots tech for the greater good. And you can do the palm up as well, so you can like grab onto the ground. Finger guns. It's the command hand. Yeah, the finger spread is so important now because when you have these and they're just hinged in the one axis, it's okay, but there's an inherent mechanical, like unemotively mechanical, not robot mechanical feel to them. So this is fine. But then when you're like able to spread them out a little bit, the more you can spread them out, the more of a third dimension there is to the emotivity, I guess, the emote ability of these. That, and they packed it into hands that are this small. These are smaller than the Astrobot's hands, and these are smaller than Sola Chigokin Gaogaigar's hands. And they flex up a little bit too. That's another big one for me. You want to be able to have your posable hands flex up a little bit like this, because that is another like very common dynamic curvature that is very useful for a lot of posing options. Because you can have the whole thing. You can have your like, no, stop! No, stop! Ah. So that's the other thing, yeah. These joints on these fingers, at least right now, I only just opened him, these feel really solid. They're very smooth. They're not floppy. Like, this, see, I'm tapping on them. The wrist is going before the fingers go. And they're not too stiff either. They're just right. They're just right on that perfect spot. Yeah, this is the Megatron kind of pose. The other test is how decent a fist do they make. So let's try that with this one. Yeah, dunk is terrible. That's what I was thinking. Is you also don't have to jam them anywhere for transformation. They kind of get an open space to occupy, which is some real good foresight. The trick with this, right, is because these hands are not organic. They're not squishy. So making a good robot plastic fist is kind of like, how well can the thumb curl to imply that the hands are squished up beneath it, or the fingers are squished up beneath it, even when they aren't. I think that's pretty good. I legit don't know if this has die-cast on it. If he does, any weight I'm feeling on him feels like it's down here. It feels kind of like there's die-cast down here, because I don't think the parts are dense enough down here for that to just be plastic. Oh, no, I'm starting to remember. I think there is a diagram of this guy showing zinc placement. Oh, I can't remember anymore. I think there's like promo photos explaining die-cast placement, if there is some on him. But if there's any, it's all like way down here. Which is, that's where you want it to be. Greetings, Ultrazilla. Greetings, Cubceratops. Greetings, Stratus Strong over in Australia. Yeah, this plastic is dense. Oh, I'm so very pleased. Just with how much this guy looks like a super robot who's going to go do some of that hot-blooded yelling fighting. Like, this is some real, like... Hang on, I can get this looking even better. Like, you see the speed lines behind him, right? Like, shh. Oh, have a good night, Wing Sion. Yeah, Bloggosaurus, finally he can do the devastation poses. Like, you see the speed lines, even though they're not there. You can see the, like, shh, and the ha, like, that's all just coming off of this posture. And, like, you see, like, the way that the dynamic line is just running up, and then you got, like, the triangle wedge forming a point over here, and you finish off the back of the triangle here with the fist. It's by far the most exciting thing to come out this year, in my opinion. Yeah, because it's reformatted, I think it would be weird for there to be diecast on him. Usually reformatted doesn't go for heavy metal content. Take it easy, Johnny Ohm. It's also, this is another subtle thing. It's the way that you can have the shoulders curl up like this, such that it looks like, you know, the upper arms are tightening and coiling to just friggin' punch something. Like, that's another very specific emotive quality. Because otherwise, if it was just like this is already a different emotion compared to this. Like, this is, I'm gonna punch you. This is, you know, hold it there. Two different emotions. Wreck and Roll, do you have MMC Megs? I do, but not handy. He's buried in a storage box in this apartment, not in a unit, but he's buried somewhere. With a couple of MMC things I wanted to review like 2 years ago, and then I piled things on top of the box I had kept them in temporarily. Do you think they look good together despite Megs being old tech now? I think they would look decent. Like, this articulation's next level, but I think that next to each other, they still would look, you know, similar enough to be okay. Oh, you got a mini Tobot today. I have one, and I got mini Tobot W. Yeah, for Springen, I would say that the one thing about him is, like, you have to be as excited about this articulation design as I am, because this is the main event. The transformation's still cool, but, like, I think that if you don't get as much out of the articulation as I am, you would be missing out on a bunch of what you're paying for. Similar to how I feel, you know, if you get combiners that you never take out of combine mode, I feel like you're kind of missing out a little bit on getting your bang for your buck, unless the other two modes are so phoned in that they're not even worth it. Which for me just means I don't even want to bother with the figure for my own tastes. Yeah, those nuanced joints. Can he reverse butterfly? I wonder. I didn't really think about lateral shoulder motion. He can a little bit, but not too much. It's a little bit limited due to, I think, just the general sculpt, unless you move this up here. Yeah, I guess if I was to call out, like, any limitation on him, it's that he can't cross his arms forward in front of himself very well. Ultrazilla, you got Tobot Master V. I'm so jealous. Oh, Commiceratops, you also got W. Yeah, there's a bigger version of W. It's called W Shield On that's in the white and purple, and I missed it! It's disappeared from the internet. I just recently found the regular colorway that's blue and orange on Amazon and picked it up because I hadn't seen it for like 2 years on the internet. But the Shield On colors are so good on W. Oh yeah, John O'War, there's also, like, if you don't really like the IDW Coptimus design, like, you know, Orion Pax the Cop design, then, like, end of the day, that's the design you're also purchasing that can pose really well. So if it bounces off you, that's that. Oh no, Redline, you had a sad breakage compressing the legs. Okay, Dunkus, yeah, you have to move the shoulders up to the head, basically. Oh no, Redline, someone else was telling me that, like, these panels here have been something to worry about. Basically, that's why I would say, like, if you think that this articulation design is cool, even if you're not into the actual design, just post lots on, like, MMC's Facebook or whatever of, like, man, this looks really good, and I would love it if you guys did more designs with this kind of articulation, because I want to buy a design I love that can do all that. That's what I would say. That's what I would say, also because I'm biased and I want them to make more that do this. So I want to weaponize everyone who's listening to me. I'm just looking more at this. So these rotate down just a touch, so you get a little bit of this. So the range is like here. So it's not locked here. You get a little bit forward and a little bit back. Just a bit, though. Oh boy, that makes me so excited. I haven't even looked at all his guns and stuff. Like, what's the whole thing? There's a whole thing with his backpack, and he can stick all the things on his back. Oh, they can go on either way. Okay. Oh, I see. So you rotate these up. You either stick them on this way. This way? Am I doing that right? So either like that, or way more solidly like that. Oh, that's that. Look at. Ah! Look at this! I like this a lot. Hang on. That feels like function. Yeah. It's like, whoop. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, howdy! There were things that go on his forearms in here. I think you can just leave on his forearms, so I'm going to stick them on his forearms. Oh yeah, just big ol' wrist guns. Whoop! I like that a lot. Actually, you know what? Let me eat my words for a second. They have got another one coming out that looks like she is in line with this, and that is I forgot her Mastermind Creations name. I forgot her real names as well. Okay, here's what I was about to say. Esmeralda cosplaying as Tarn. It's not Esmeralda. Eris! There you go. Esmeralda. Esmeralda's a bit much. That was a bit much of a name. But yeah, Eris looks like she's got a similar setup to all this stuff. So I pre-ordered that one. Hardcore. Yeah, Eris Kultor version. Because Eris's bio is that Eris can, like, take on the appearance or the characteristics of whomstever she scans or whatever. So, ostensibly, there could be, like, other Eris forms. Yeah, this is Optus Pexis, which is also a fun name. It's a fun name. I keep thinking I'm spelling it wrong. Yeah, Eris was a Planet X exclusive, not Planet X, a Planet Steel Express exclusive. That's Mastermind Creations' own web store, and the first pre-order run of her sold through already. But I highly assume that there will be another run of her, so I think it's all going to be all right. Given the sheer number of people whose posts on Facebook and Instagram seem to be, when are you doing another run of her? I would assume there's enough interest. Weebius does stuff. Have a good one. I will try to keep up the gamer vids and streams. Yeah, there's a stop motion video about her that shows her transformation, and it's so good because, like, her body is turning into the tank for the most part, so she's not, like, wearing a folded up tank. Verspringen, it's Planet Steel Express. I think it's just planetsteelexpress.com. I can't remember if there are dashes in there, but if you Google Planet Steel Express, it should come up. Yeah, Code Turtle. Like the transformation on her is I really like it is a, if not a direct response, it's at least what's the word I'm looking for? Inadvertent response to the problems with, like, highly curvatured, very thin, feminine looking robots of like in her case, she's not super thin, she's still got bulk, especially like in the upper body, like the arms. She looks like she could friggin' like punch a boulder. And then the transformation is like there's a backpack that forms a piece of the tank around her upper body, but then her legs turn into, like, the entire turret. Physically. Not just the turret, like, is on her legs. Her legs physically become the turret. And I think part of the back, but I can't quite remember now. I might be misremembering that. But yeah, Esmeralda, like, actually physically turns into the tank. Which is huge as far as like having a feminine body robot turn into a vehicle. Yeah, Robot Lore Keeper. Scold, yes, but I am on the hill I'm dying on now that, like, all of my dreams keep coming true is I want Termagax, because Termagax is also, like, one of my favorite new characters from the new comic series. I think Termagax is fascinating, and she has an excellent design. And as far as I know, her alt mode is just, you know, like a kind of floating tank block. Aileron, yeah, I mean, my Trinity hill to die on from IDW1 is, like, Aileron, Centurion, I almost said Starfire. That's a Marvel character. Oh no, my brain! You know who I mean, the one from the ROM crossover. This is gonna bug me now. Star Drive! Thank you, Robot Lore Keeper. Aileron, Centurion, Star Drive. I want to see official toys of those three. They are they are so toyetic, those three designs. That's what I want out of the next 3 years of Generations. If those three can appear with really solid toys, like Voyager Star Drive, Deluxe Aileron, Deluxe Centurion, maybe even Voyager Centurion. Because those three characters kind of got abandoned by the Evergreen ship when IDW1 closed up shop. It feels like they got left behind. And they were 3 characters who were born out of IDW1 that I think got kind of just not only left behind, but like missed out on by a lot of the fandom because they were not in the books that were getting like the big time early 2010s push. So I want to see those so badly. Nautica, I think there's a better chance for Nautica because she's already a power player in IDW2 as far as like having screen time, not like a political power player, but like she has a major role and she is featuring heavily. And she's she is highly critical to the storyline right now. I also like talking up IDW2 because that book is also getting left behind a little bit, and I think it's doing some really fun stuff. Who has better Yowie hands, Optus Pexus or Commander Rodimus? Commander Rodimus doesn't have the spread, right? So I think it's got to go to Pexus. Pexus spent the extra budget to get that spread. Yeah, Anode and Lug are built to be a 2-pack. The Velocity and Javelin feels like she's been made with an alt mode in mind that's fairly toyetic. I think Javelin I think is IDW2 exclusive so far. I don't recall Javelin in IDW1, but she's kind of like a C tier character as far as screen time, but she's having a little character arc go on now. In recent issues. Termagax, though. Like, Termagax, to me, is like one of... I don't know, it might not hit for everyone, but for those of you who haven't read IDW2, like, I won't go into heavy spoilers, but, like, Termagax occupies a really cool role in what that universe is. Oh, Javelin was on Thunderclash's ship. Okay. Thanks, Chicken Soup. But yeah, Termagax occupies a very interesting role that is very similar to an IDW1 character called Terminus. But Termagax is a very different character who is more of a player in the current world of IDW2, which that's the other thing about IDW2 that I really like is there are now as of issue, I forgot what issue it was, but the big double-sized issue. Where the war basically kicked off. There are Autobots and Decepticons now, but there are also other factions at play that are equally as dangerous or as effective to the world. So, like, right now, like, I think you've got Autobots, Decepticons, the Insecticons, Termagax, what's his name? Heretic's religious faction. I think there are aspects of the Rise that are still kind of on their own, like, or at least probably going to be acting on their own. And then there's also like what Diatlas is. The folks who like start merging with the planet, they seem to be on their own thing as well. So there's at least 5 spinning plates independent of each other, and there's a whole bunch of other ones. I forgot, Cyclonus may be getting rolled into a faction, but Cyclonus is also very much operating on his own. So it's just I like how there are a lot of parties at play in IDW2 who do not roll themselves into being sub-factions of Autobot versus Decepticon. And I thought they were going to do something more predictable with Termagax, and so the fact that I'm saying Termagax is an active player right now is something I didn't think was going to happen. And then when it did happen, I was like, I'm 1,000% more invested in what's going on now that Termagax is just chilling out and is watching this unfurl. Oh, and yeah, and for Cyclonus, I'm not gonna say it. Don't spoil it. Issues just dropped this morning. Oh, there's something relevant to IDW2 Cyclonus that dropped in one of the new issues, and I was like, oh! If you read it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't say it, please. Don't spoil it for anyone. But yeah, there's a lot going on in IDW2. And, like, it had a slow start, but, like, I'll always say that was a slow start where what it did slowly while spinning its wheels was build the world around it while spinning its wheels. So it did a thing I really like while not doing a whole lot. So I was like, I still really like this. And now stuff is happening constantly, and the world is still building outwards. Another IDW2 thing, which kind of breaks from the norm. You know how usually, right, like, when you go... Because IDW2 spent, I think, like, what, a full year, if not longer, in pre-war? Which is another thing that book does that's super cool, is they don't throw you into the war and then do flashbacks to the times before. The story starts in the times before, and now that the war has started, it's in the early, like, week of the war. Like, it's not just rushing through. I really like it. But one thing it also did to break convention is, instead of having the usual thing of, like, you know, before the war started, there was this intelligence operative called Soundwave or whatever, or Shockwave. The chief of intelligence on Cybertron, when we joined the story, is Starscream. And it's still a Starscream, right? But, like, that's the twist on this Starscream, is, like, this is a Starscream who became the head of intelligence and is also a Starscream. And it's like, oh, this is like a mildly scary Starscream who's also disengaged enough that, like, he's sort of his own player. But there's really good just implied world building in it. Like, you know, with Starscream, there is a point in the story where someone, when they are faced with having to say some stuff, really important stuff, before they don't get a chance to, one of the only things they said was, kill Starscream. And it wasn't Megatron. It was not someone you'd think it was. Out of, like, one face, like, I only have, like, seconds to say anything to you. One of the few things they said, kill Starscream. And they kind of have recently started to explain why. But I loved that. Oh, it was so good. It's like grabbing someone by the collar, like, kill Starscream. And it's important to note, nothing in the book gave you the feeling that that's relevant. So that kind of came out of nowhere, but in a way where you say, of course you gotta kill Starscream. I get really excited about IDW2. And yeah, like Kabuceratops is saying, one of the first major Autobot military actions, which is the Escape miniseries going on right now, was to help non-combatants escape the war. Because in IDW2, this is established in issue 1, Cybertronians are not the only species on Cybertron. There are a lot of organic species that have residence on Cybertron, because Cybertron's like a nexus of intergalactic trade and commerce and whatever, because it's populated and protected by giant immortal robots. So when the war breaks out, one of the first things the Autobot faction does, in light of the newly declared Decepticon occupation, is they try to get all the non-combatants out of there, which is like 80% organic, non-indigenous life forms. And they are doubly trying to do so because the IDW2 Insecticons are terrifying, and I love them. They were the secret main characters of the first Galaxies storyline. The one that was like, this is the origin of the Constructicons. Low-key, that was the origin of the Insecticons. The Constructicons just happened to be on screen. The IDW2 Insecticons, I think, are the best take I've ever seen on the Insecticons. And again, like, and this is more so in Galaxies. One of the great things that this story does, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, because I got a little bit of time to kill, and I like talking about IDW2, especially when folks haven't checked it out. One thing they do really well is they take the idea of stuff like the Insecticons or the Constructicons, and they give them a motivation based on the most classic Transformers sediment of the world theme, which is a terrible ruling class. Like the Cliff Jumper issues. The first issue shows you the birth of a new Cybertronian is this momentous occasion. The whole planet shows up to welcome a new Cybertronian into the world. They are given a mentor who helps them find their alt mode and find their way and who they want to be. And then there's a Cliff Jumper two-parter, which starts with Cliff Jumper's birth, where he comes out to an empty, like, no one's there. There's like 3 people standing there when he walks up and he's looking to be welcomed to the world. One of the people standing there is the current Prime, who just looks at him and then goes back to his phone. He's like, "What is this? We just welcomed what's his name, Bumblebee, into the world. What's this thing that just came out second? You didn't tell me there were going to be 2. And I'm going to look like an idiot if it gets out that there was like a second birth and we didn't plan around it." And so Cliff Jumper was an unforeseen second birth after Bumblebee, who was treated like a nuisance and garbage since he was born, and it's so depressing. But it doesn't end depressingly. Cliff Jumper gets a really fun story out of it, but I love, like, that kind of theme then extends into, like, the Constructicons, who help rebuild Cybertron after Cybertron's one big war that happened before the story we're into. Like, they had a big war already, but it was worse than the ones that usually Transformers have as a backdrop. And, like, the Constructicons are natural builders, and you know, they're helping fix the city, but then they show you, like, this ruling class, specifically this Prime, he's got this whole thing where it's like, yeah, we're gonna make them feel good, we'll give them medals, we'll have champagne, Energon champagne, I'll tell them they're doing such a good job. And then we're gonna tell them, oh, we got this moon we gotta fix up next. And what that is like, anyone who's like a little too abnormal in a dangerous way, ship them off to the moon, just tell them they're gonna go do some fix-up work there, and then never return their calls. And yeah, the Threefold Spark is so fascinating. The new issue, like, you get another look at who the Threefold Spark was, and I was like, this has gotta go somewhere. The War of the Threefold Spark feels like something we're gonna have, like, at least a devoted 2-parter to, and it's again like where a whole bunch of stuff comes from. I don't want to start yelling. That's so much I want to start yelling. Like the War of the Threefold Spark and the whole history of Cybertron before they achieved peace. Blitzwing was like the Captain America of triple changers. He's like the most famous, most celebrated triple changer because his 3 modes are so good, and he's like this big dude. There's a great little aside in the newest issue where Ape Face is like, "Why are you all talking up Blitz? I got 3 modes as well." And then Blitzwing's like, "Yeah, well, your 3 modes suck." And it's like triple changer heat. It's so good. Long River Valley, the newest issue, without saying too much, adds a detail to how the Threefold Spark was able to be on one side of a war, is what I'll say. Like, they're slowly fleshing out the War of the Threefold Spark, not through direct flashbacks, but through characters talking about it to each other in relation to current events. I love it. It's just, it's world building being prioritized, sometimes at the cost of the pace, but like, I'm cool sacrificing the pace for the candy I like, you know? Oh, I can go on and on about IDW too. I gotta hold off. And I'll add the little disclaimer. I'm not trying to go on and on about it in a way of like, it's so much better than what we had before. It's just, it's different. And I think it's making a lot of really good, different decisions. And also because it is kind of flying under the radar, like, I get even more excited about it because like almost no one has been reading it. So every time I read a new issue, I'm like, oh my God. I have no one to talk to. Zimman, yeah, there are trades. I think it does read better in trades. I'm not sure how far along the trades are. But also, there's also one last thing. There are cool things IDW2 does that also venerates IDW1, which is that characters who were born out of IDW1 just exist in the new IDW with slight tweaks to who they are. but the same way G1 characters did in original IDW. So, like, Freud is in IDW 2 as a feature character. Heretic was a joke character in IDW 1, who's now the leader of a religious faction in IDW 2. He's Senator Heretic. He's, like, when the Senate is around, Heretic is literally the, like, you know, that really garbage fundamentalist religious senator that everyone has to listen to because he got all of his followers to vote him into office. So he has a seat at the table. And like Nautica has a new character and a new role in this, which is really fascinating in that she's able to, like, she's a what is it, xenobiologist? So she's like a liaison to all of the non-Cybertronian races that interact with the Cybertronians. There's a couple other ones who just show up in it, sometimes in bigger roles than they had before. Like Diatlas is a former hero turned immersant. That's the word I couldn't remember. The concept of the immersants is also so friggin' cool. Like the immersants are like Cybertronians who are so old, or at least like so long lived, they've gotten tired of living and they don't want, and they can't die, so they immerse themselves into the almost like memory of the planet. So they're alive, but they're merging with the planet Cybertron itself. And so they're these really weird, like almost spiritual figures that they're like not just living in caves, but they're like fusing with the cave walls. Also, yeah, Road Rage is Nautica's bodyguard who totally has a crush on Nautica, and it's really, really loud. And Road Rage is super fun. Like, they made Road Rage a bruiser, which I really enjoy. Trigger, I have not seen that PR review of the trailer you made for Core Optimus. That sounds cool, though. I'm assuming 3D printing, or was it more scratch built? Zimman, what's Cyclonus like? So, Cyclonus appears early enough, and this was like now, like, what, 2 years ago? So I don't know if this is, like, so spoilery because this is his debut. You meet Cyclonus living on his own outside of the Memorial Crater, which is a crater where I think it's where the Threefold Spark War ended. There's a giant crater with, like, a memorial tablet listing the names of the dead from that war. And Cyclonus basically just lives in the wastelands, keeping an eye on the war memorial and speaking to like 5 ghosts of his dead friends who are constantly following him around that no one else can see because Cyclonus is probably imagining them. And Freud has a, kind of like with Road Rage and Nautica, Freud has a very unsubtle interest in Cyclonus, both professionally, but it comes off in a very, like, I'd also love to chill on my couch with you kind of way. But the Cyclonus is basically, is literally haunted by ghosts of his past. And not even focused on, so he's got a revenge thing, but here's his revenge thing. It doesn't even date back to the war. It's, if someone messes with the war memorial, Cyclonus gets a revenge thing going, is the way I'd put it. If someone disrespects the war memorial, then Cyclonus is like, I think you need to die. Oh, I didn't even talk about Team Stream! Team Stream are so good! Flame War and Slipstream and Blackjack. Those are the 3 I always think of first. There's a couple others, but the Team Stream is excellent. The Autobot scientists on the Energon satellite, that was super fun. They legitimized Combiner Wars Huffer. The super buff Huffer is legitimized in IDW 2. Quake? RG1 Studios, how much have you read? Is what I would say. Quake matters a lot. Quake is not currently a player, but Quake matters a lot. Quake is very important to the storyline and is currently not participating, but that is a more recent development. Oliver Bolton with the Team Stream Poggers, we got that going. Someone wanted me to say Star Wars, comma, me. but that would be a lie. I don't want to get any of that Star Wars on me. I'm turning this into an IDW2 ramble stream while I stare at Optus Pexus. I'm going to at least move the camera up a little bit. I am happy to ambassador a little bit for IDW2 because it's good Transformers stories. Oh yeah, RG1. If you haven't read it, Quake matters a lot in the opening. I'd say year. Quake matters a lot. If you like the TCG, the Escape miniseries just fleshed out the entire off-road team. You know, like Powertrain and the trucks, all just got massive characterization in Escape. Table of Insanity, yeah, this is, unless YouTube screws up, I let these go straight to VODs, and they should be public as soon as they finish processing. Ideally with chat replay, I never can get it to work on my end, but I don't know if I'm just missing the button, or if it's not showing it to me because I'm the author. I have a playlist going for all of my live streams I started doing with my phone that weren't about TCG stuff, because I want to do them more often. So there's a playlist on my channel now called, I think it's called VOD Streams Live, and that should be like the newest playlist I made on the channel. So I think there's like 4 in there now. I think this would be the 5th one. But yeah, what is it? One of the other things I can tell you to get you interested in IDW2. One of the conceits of IDW2 is that the Transformers have been in such a long state of peace. The opening action of IDW2 is that a Cybertronian has died. And because that never happens anymore, that gets a lot of events into motion. So also, like, one of the big... That was, like, the initial tease of the entire new continuity. So, like, one of the whole things of, like, when you crack open issue 1, is you're like, who dies? And you absolutely will not expect who dies. Is there a complicated reading order? No, there's one main book... and then there's always a side book. So the first side book was Galaxies. The newest side book is Escape. Galaxies, I think you kind of just want to read that one around about the same time it came out as certain issues. Escape, the main book, will literally tell you when to go and check out issues of Escape in the little underbar things as well. Galaxies, some of them they'll tell you that as well, because the main book sets up the Gage RC... Was it RC Moonracer? Engage storyline with Heretic. That one gets set up in the main book and then continued in a couple issues of Galaxies. But yeah, IDW2 is only ever having one concurrent mini-series in the same continuity. The Beast Wars book is currently its own separate continuity. And the upcoming Grimlock thing sounds like it's going to be its own separate continuity for the time being as well. Greenlight, not Moonracer. Sorry, yeah. RC and Greenlight and Gage are a little family. Oh, I missed some stuff. Trigger for a meme. You would really like this. It would make your day. Okay. I can't see any way this gets folded around into me, like, punching down on anyone other than the Star Wars fans, so... What do I say? Star Wars me? Hang on, I have to please advise. Rick Ray's fan art. Where do I buy my Transformers? All over the place. I'm not loyal to anybody. I'm getting up there. Robot Lorekeeper. It looks like Trigger Happy and Flame War are a little bit Deadpool Harley. Flame War is very much a gremlin. Trigger Happy's actually barely been in the book. Trigger Happy is like I think part of the satellite mission, but otherwise was I think a newer addition to Team Stream. I might be misremembering that. I don't remember as much Trigger Happy as I do Flame War. Oh, Verspringen, I missed... Oh, here we go. You're staring at Optus Pexus and Paleotrex. Should you do it? Okay, like, Paleotrex is like... I'm sure you will at some point anyway. Optus Pexus. If you think the robot mode looks cool and you think this articulation stuff is friggin' cool, I think it's worth it. If you're not as into this robot design, or the articulation stuff isn't like making you go like, I must, then it's probably okay to wait. I think being into the articulation is 100% a must, and even then I think you have to be digging this robot mode. And like, you know, it is an Optimus Prime, so that will be a factor for some folks. Truthfully, that's never really a factor for me, because I the way I process figures is often as figures first and then characters second. Oh, if you love the robot design, yeah, then I think you're doomed. not to use a dire tone there. Oh, the Lincoln Keys, it's not like the robot mode is bad, it's just like, in 2021, there's very legitimate Optimus Prime fatigue, or Orion Pax fatigue, for some folks. Like, it's easy, I think it's really easy to look at a figure of this design, official or not, and kind of go like, oh boy! I missed a whole bunch of stuff that I caught in glancing. I'm gonna try to catch some more of this. Robot Lore Keeper, I'm still up for it. I just feel like Flame War is intentional. Small Goblin BB, so chaotic bait. She is, but you know what? She was invented as a joke about online Flame Wars, so like somehow she's a character who gets to be that, I think. Like more so than any other character being given that kind of personality. It's like Flame War was born for this, you know, Vin Diesel style. Bunny East, how do you feel about the state of third-party Transformers? I recall you said you feel they should start moving into doing more original characters. Yeah, the current state of it, I never really know anymore, because like, I think they should move into doing more original style characters. I think Eris is a huge power move. Even though she's couched in, for a lot of folks, being female Tarn first. And, like, that's, like, the least interesting part of that figure to me. I don't, like, dislike it. I'm just like, this figure could have been just Tank Lady. I think I would have, in fact, been more excited if she was just Tank Lady. But I think that that it's either that or things like all built in. Like, doing tricks that do more than just fill a slot on a shelf. Because fill a slot on the Masterpiece shelf works. It's a model that works, clearly. I still think that's a model with an incredibly low ceiling. And I don't think that model is sustainable at all, at a certain point. Right now is a prime time when there are a lot of, like, late millennials and Gen Xers who are, like, equipped to buy a whole lot of Masterpiece-sized and priced stuff. As they keep up with that hype train. I don't think I think the millennial generation collectors are going to taper off from being into doing that. I think that the post-millennial generation, whose name I never really know what to say, because they all sound about as bad as millennial, and I feel really bad for y'all. I feel like the interest in fill slots on my Masterpiece shelf is even lower in that generation. So I feel like going for experience is going to be bigger than going for character presence, I guess. But maybe that's in the really long term. Milk Product Mark II, joke's on you, I'm always broke. Yeah, I feel you. Hey, me too. Yeah, third party wise, like Fans Hobby, I haven't bought a lot of their stuff because it's very expensive, and I'm already into expensive things. But like they've got a good vibe going on of just like going for chunky and their aesthetic first. Like they're not going for fill slots. They're going for buy a cool Fans Hobby toy first and foremost, I think. Even with the Unicron trilogy stuff they're doing, maybe even to almost to a detriment in that, like, you know, their Armada Prime takes some liberties that I have seen put one or two people off of it because it took too many liberties with the look of Armada Prime. But I think that's a gradient that they have to ride until like you can rely on like having to hit the line art of Armada to like satisfy that buyer base. Like I really want to catch up with Fans Hobby stuff, because the only one of their things I've got is Athena, who is, as far as I know, 100% not indicative of what Fans Hobby toys are actually like for the most part. Like, Athena is the high outlier. So, like, I wish I'd grabbed their monster bots. There was a period where I almost grabbed them and then something else came out. I'd like to grab their Unicron trilogy stuff, although I'm not really into some of the decisions made on their Armada Megatron, if I'm being honest. I think that they keep reworking the shoulders in sideways directions that are all ones I'm not really into. I really want to pick up their Thunderclash. I think their Thunderclash looks like something I just want to own. I don't know if I've missed the window on it already, but that's one I really want to grab. I'm just checking the chat here. Zero Liddell got the third Fans Hobby Monster Bot, and you love them. They're perfect kaiju for Legends shelf stuff. Yeah. Like, I've seen them in person at so many conventions, and I was like, oh, those look really cool. Azure, it definitely feels to you like the slot-filling third-party Masterpiece culture is slowly dying out or just moving on to Legends. Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's for the better. It was few and far between that Masterpiece slot fillers seemed like they were being designed with excitement. And I guess I should say, like, I don't consider Assaultus to be a Masterpiece slot filler first and foremost. The all built-in thing feels like that's the excitement that I detect in that figure, is like achieving that engineering trick is first and foremost its thing. Armada's 20th anniversary is in it's in 2 years. I was gonna say 3. I always mix up Armada. Armada was in 2003, right? It wasn't in 2004. That was Energon. But it also was Armada launched in 2002. I always think it's 2003, but no, it might have been launched in 2002. I always forget the launch date for that one. Verspringen, IDW2 is on Comixology. That's where I've been keeping up with it. I primarily just do digital now. I think the main book is just called Transfers, which doesn't help because there's a lot of them. But it should be the ones that have like issues that have come out recently. I buy the issues individually because I'm keeping up with all their stuff monthly, but I know they have like trade digital versions up as well, I think. Oh yeah, it's RID anniversary time this year. It is the 20th anniversary of anime dub Robots in Disguise this year. Oh yeah, Jotaku Toys, like, I would hard disagree if anyone says going with original characters is a bad route. That's the only survivable route. And it's also a route that I think respects the designers more, because you're not telling them what to make anymore. And that's always bothered me a lot about third-party Masterpiece stuff, is like, you're basically telling the designers what to do, and I don't like that. I think that disrespects their talent. And obviously, like you know, all that said, I like it when I still like stuff that's referential, but I like it when I feel like also the designers are excited to be doing it. I guess I need to be able to taste that excitement in the design. Bun Yeast, any notable figures whom your opinion on changed the most from first impressions to when you had it in hand? Siege Sideswipe and Siege Hound I thought looked terrible, and then I got them in hand and I loved them. That's always the one that jumps to mind, because I spent multiple podcasts dunking on their alt modes, thinking they look kind of, and their robot modes, thinking they looked really boring, and then I ended up, it turns out their transformations felt amazing in hand. Milk Product Mark II, just called Transformers, which is confusing about the comic titles. Isn't that the norm though, with the entire franchise? No, the norm with the franchise now is that they're called Transformers, a word that has been used before, but in a slightly different position. There was a tweet going around, what was it? That, like, there's Optimus Prime, there's Bumblebee Optimus Prime, there's Prime Bumblebee and Prime Optimus Prime, there's Cyberverse Optimus Prime and Prime Cyberverse Optimus Prime and Prime Cyberverse Bumblebee and Cyberverse Bumblebee, and those are all different things! Robot Lorky, I feel like animated has persistent enough fans could get a non-anniversary specific comeback, but Rid without special occasion is needle in a haystack. Yeah, I think, honestly, I think that especially with the way that the Encore Godfire convoy went, I feel like Rid maybe gets a select release like Prime did with Breakdown and the Jet Viacon. I think there's a decent chance of that, but I think that's also going to be it. I'm just checking my time. I gotta take off in a little bit. Monstrosities! Hello! I'm just rambling a bit at the end of a live stream. This always happens, is like I have a direction for a live stream, but then I start like getting onto topics, and then I talk for like another hour, waving my hand around so the video has a purpose to exist. Lock Felino, do you know what I'd give for them to at least, like, use the word alternators again, if not Binal Tech? Just so that we have more words in series names? I want the Prime Cyberverse alternators and the Alternators Cyberverse and Alternators Legends Primes. Oh no, every time, also, yeah, no, this won't be a long stream. Hello, Arbitrary Hero. Every time I'm, like, this close to going, like, yeah, I should probably close up, then, like, I start seeing friends coming into the chat, and I'm like, I wanna, hello, welcome, how you doing? Oh, how are the Bruticus legs? I like the Bruticus legs a lot. Hey, Star Wars, you. Be careful. Don't yell Star Wars in all caps, that's a cuss word. Wave sign, we've never examined how the shrouding would have impacted the fraternity. I know! Favorite Kingdom figure so far is Air Razor. That one just made my jaw drop. Here, I'll get Lad Pexus out of the way for a sec. Actually, I'm gonna do the thing. I know, but why does he have more guns? Wait, what? Are these his? Sorry, I think I didn't notice this. Why does he have even more guns? What's... These ones are great. I've just been ignoring that thing over there the whole time. I just assumed it was more brawl parts. Oh yeah, he also just has a gray set of guns in case you don't want to use the... And you can use all four at once, right? Right. Sometimes he wants to shoot you 8 times instead of only 6. Valid. Fair. Here, I'm gonna try to do the thing. First, let's try to get up to close up the stream. Let's get Optimus into a sultry pose. Really work these leg joints a little bit. Which leg goes on top? This one. Oh yeah, Optimus can totally just stroke the nose cone up here. And then we're fulfilling our contractual obligations. There we go. Oh, none of you could see that. You just had to rely on my description. Hang on, we gotta take a ride. Come with me. There you go. See, we did it. See, he's stroking the nose cone up there. Because he has to do something with his other hand.
Fondling is the right of all sentient beings.
Hang on, wait, I'm trying to assemble my words. Hang on.
Bruticus prefers the tip.
Alright, thanks for chilling out for this live stream. I'm gonna take off for a little bit. How much people want this Star Wars thing? Star Wars me. So I hope you all have a good day, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.